It was a political bombshell like no other. The NCP chief, Sharad Pawar, set the cat among the pigeons by announcing his intent to quit as national president of his party. The announcement on the 2nd of May at the launch of the updated edition of his biography in Marathi came at a time when Ajit Pawar was said to be, according to speculation, in talks with the BJP, leading to a flux within the NCP. So what was behind the dramatic resignation announcement first and then a withdrawal? Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
चौबीस का चुनाव, विधानसभा चुनाव, लोकसभा चुनाव, स्थानीय चुनाव होने हैं, तो ऐसे कुछ ही समय पहले इस तरह का जो ऐलान है वो पार्टी को नुकसान पहुंचा सकता है।
ये कभी तो करने की आवश्यकता थी। एक दूसरा पार्टी का नुकसान नहीं होगा, इस पर ध्यान मैंने दिया था, क्योंकि मैंने मेरा प्रोग्राम जो चेकआउट किया था कि प्रेसिडेंसी छोड़ेंगे एंड एग्रेसिवली कैंपेन दूसरे दिन से शुरू करेंगे, ये मैंने पूरा प्लान किया था। मगर एक बात मुझे स्वीकार करना पड़ा कि आई कुड नॉट कन्विंस माई कलीग्स एंड इन फैक्ट आई कॉन्शियसली टू डिसाइड नॉट टू टेक देम इन कॉन्फ्रेंस बिकॉज दे विल नेवर अलाउ मी। मगर आई थॉट आई कैन कन्विंस देम, बट देयर आई कुड नॉट कन्विंस, and that's why ultimately I have to respect what exactly they are saying and I have to take this responsibility again.
पवार साहब, एक आखिरी सवाल। 4 दिन से बारामती में हूँ, यहाँ पे तमाम ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट्स की, लोगों से भी बात की है। चेहरा उनके लिए आप हमेशा से हैं। आपने भी कहा कि आप सुपरविजन कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जमीन पर अजीत पवार यहाँ पर काम कर रहे हैं। एक चिंता लोगों के जहन में है, किसी तरह से भी एनसीपी में टूट हुई तो कहीं बारामती के विकास पर ब्रेक तो नहीं लगेगा?
नहीं, फर्स्ट एनसीपी टूट होगी नहीं, ये बात बिल्कुल होगी नहीं। नहीं, कोई जाएगी नहीं। फॉर नो रीज़न ये अजीत पवार की बदनामी कुछ लोग कर रहे। एक संदेश ऐसे दिया, इसमें बिल्कुल नहीं। इनकी काम की स्टाइल अलग है, मेरी काम की स्टाइल अलग है। वो आई मीट मोर पीपल, आई डिस्कस, his concentration is always to deliver the goods. He is result-oriented person. And that's why sometimes he speaks less, and that creates some misunderstanding here and there. But if you see that with the Varavati or the NCP, there is a total unity. We work together and we will show the results.
And in the final hectic leg of campaigning ahead of the May 10th Assembly polls, the BJP and the Congress are going head-to-head. They are leaving no stone unturned to emerge victorious in Karnataka. The BJP has packed in multiple rallies by its top leaders, helmed by Prime Minister Modi. The Congress has roped in its stalwart Sonia Gandhi to address a rally in Hubli.
कर्नाटका में आप सभी द्वारा कांग्रेस ने तय किया है कि वो अपनी पुरानी आदतें नहीं छोड़ेगी। वो एपीजमेंट, तुष्टीकरण, तालाबंदी और गाली को ही चुनावी मुद्दा बनाएगी।
प्रधानमंत्री बहाने बनाते हैं, आतंकवाद की बात करते हैं। उनसे बेहतर मैं आतंकवाद को समझता हूं।
कांग्रेस की सरकार थी तब एसटी के लिए कितना बजट था? कांग्रेस की सरकार थी तब सिर्फ 24,000 करोड़ बजट था। नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार आने के बाद 24,000 करोड़ के बजट को 90,000 करोड़ का बनाने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने।
2018 में आपने इन्हें सत्ता तो नहीं सौंपी, लेकिन इन्होंने डकैती डालकर सत्ता हथिया ली। इसके बाद उनके 40% सरकार आपका लूटने में लग गई।
And the Congress has also criticized the Home Minister for sticking with his campaigning schedule in poll-bound Karnataka while Manipur is burning. In Manipur, the National Testing Agency, or the NTA, which conducts the National Entrance Cum Eligibility Test, or NEET, has postponed the examination for candidates who have their centres in this violence-hit state. New dates are to be announced later. Violence has broken out across the BJP-ruled state of Manipur between the Meiteis and the Kukis as tension and violence spiraled. Videos showed properties burning even in the state capital Imphal, where the situation is now calm after violence broke out in the Churachandpur district, about 65 kilometers from the valley city. Now, while the Manipur Chief Minister held an all-party meet, curfew continues. Streets are empty except for the army and the Assam Rifles personnel who are guarding these streets, and many questions are being asked as to why violence has returned to a state that had mostly left behind its insurgency-tainted past.
Even as curfew continues in parts of Manipur, here in state capital Imphal, you can see people waiting for hours to get petrol and diesel. Since there is curfew, so there are stipulated time when petrol and diesel fuel is being given. This is causing a major inconvenience. In fact, there is a long queue of vehicles, two-wheelers here. You can see about a half a kilometer long queue for people who have stepped out of their homes in the early hours when there is no flare up. People want to use this time to refuel their cars. These are also people who are government employees. These are people who are part of duties which are emergency services, like a policeman or a medical staff, and people are facing inconvenience at this point of time. मैम आपसे बात करेंगे. बहुत टाइम से खड़े हैं पेट्रोल पंप में. कितना प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है ये कर्फ्यू के लिए?
बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, यहाँ पर दिकदार हो रहा है.
और घर में जैसे सामान है घर का, जैसे खाने पीने का सामान वगैरह, वो भी लेने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है?
हाँ, बहुत लेने पड़ा है. तो दाम भी बेसी हुआ है.
दाम भी ज़्यादा हो गए, दाम ज़्यादा मांग रहे हैं.
हाँ, दाम भी बेसी हुआ है.
In the Imphal Valley, there have been several shelters like this one, which has been opened up to house people who have left their homes, left their villages. Many of their villages have been burned down. They have, walked for kilometers to reach safer places. Many of them have been evacuated by the Indian Army and Assam Rifles. In fact, these are the areas where they have been kept. This is the 9 Assam Rifles, 9 sector Assam Rifles shelter where more than 1,000 people have been kept. There are pregnant women, there are elderly people, ailing people. These are mostly people who are from different tribal groups. They have, many of their villages, there have been arson. They are in fear. We would speak to some of them. What's your name?
My name is Sad Boy.
Where do you come from and what really happened?
I come from Loibul Khono near Laimaram, Kampupi district.
Okay.
And the incident is that in Wednesday night, unfortunately our house was burned down. We climb up in the Zangar, delivery girl, and pregnancy girl, lactating mother, and leprosy, sickness, those who don't leave their beds. We carry all of them, and all the kids who are lying in the bed. We carry all of them in the Zangar, top of the mountain. We cry a lot all the whole night. We don't have water. We don't have food.
There are people amid curfew who are trying to help people who are stranded in the violence, stranded in places where they don't have essentials. These are locals in Imphal who are collecting actually material that people have brought from their homes to be sent to relief centers and relief shelter homes where people who have been affected by the violence, people who have turned homeless, people who have run for their life would be able to use this essential items which people have brought from their homes itself. In fact, if we can speak to some of them, we'll try to speak to some of them.
Lack of these foods and lack of essential items. From that point of view, this wall clubs, we are trying to help these victim peoples by giving some edible items, and some local peoples also helping by giving them monetary cash help.
The situation in Manipur remains tense, although situation by and large is under control. However, in the last 24 hours there have been clashes, particularly in Churachandpur district, where there have been clashes in which there have been loss of life. That's what we're picking up from government officials, but government is not giving out numbers in terms of not only deaths in Churachandpur, but also in other parts of the state. In fact, government is yet to give out numbers of people, number of people who are dead and number of people who are injured. But we are hearing that several people are injured as well. However, curfew continues. As you can see behind me, only people are allowed to move with emergency passes, as well as central security forces are deployed. The Indian Army is carrying out flag marches as well as area domination exercises. The focus remains, however, to bring peace. Also, over 20,000 people have been evacuated from different pockets, vulnerable pockets, and sheltered in refugee camps. These people are from both the communities, the Meiteis as well as the Kukis. In fact, what is important here to note is that Centre has also rushed in more forces to help the state government. In fact, in the border areas, UAVs are being used, army helicopters are being used to keep vigil, because Manipur shares a porous border with Myanmar, and there are reports that militant groups which have hideouts on the other side of the borders might try to use this turmoil, this situation. So therefore, the focus is in terms of surveillance as well.
And 2 terrorists were killed in separate encounters in Jammu and Kashmir on Saturday. In the last 2 weeks, 10 soldiers have been killed in encounters in the Rajouri-Pooch region, once a militancy-free area.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in Rajouri, a day after 5 soldiers of elite special forces were killed during an anti-terrorist operation. This is for the first time when Defence Minister and the Army Chief visited an area where troops are engaged in a protracted flush-out operation. In last 2 weeks, 10 soldiers have been killed in 2 separate attacks in Rajouri-Pooch region. Today, Army said 1 terrorist was killed and another is likely to be injured during a fresh encounter. In Udhampur, the Army paid homage to the fallen heroes. 5 para-commandos killed in action on Friday. The troops had gone deep inside Kesari Hills to neutralize terrorists behind the attack on Army truck on April 20th, in which 5 soldiers were killed. Over a dozen Pakistani terrorists are believed to be entrenched in forests of Rajouri. The latest attack has come when Pakistan Foreign Minister was attending SCO meeting in Goa. In last 19 months, 26 army soldiers and 9 civilians have been killed in terrorist attacks in Poonch Rajouri region. In most of the incidents, terrorists have managed to escape after every attack. The fresh spate of terrorist incidents have come ahead of G20 meeting in Srinagar, making the job of security forces even more difficult.
It appears Poonch and Rajouri region have been carefully chosen by the handlers from across the border to hit where it hurts the most. Once a militancy-free area has become biggest security challenge today. Even as a massive security operation has been launched, it is going to be a long drawn-out process, as the heavily armed militants are believed to be well entrenched in dense forests and caves. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi, NDTV.